So we might be hitting the phase of the market where we are going into accumulation, where it will become boring, but this is where everyone will call you lucky for sticking around and having the balls to buy as low as you possibly can. We might be here for a while. So let's talk about it. On the screen, we're going to go through CoinMarketCap first. We're going to look at some previous altcoins and some previous kind of assets in terms of what's kind of happened. So you get an idea for time frame, just to give you an idea. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying support, but there's always something wrong with if you have to buy every single dip if you cannot afford to. But as I said before in previous videos, if you have a plan. If you have a plan that enables you to be able to dollar cost average over a period of months, years, decades, right? Doesn't matter. Most people in the crypto space are here on a whim. They're on a one opportunity element where they'll put 5 grand in, lose it, and they'll never come back. Do not be that person. Do not quit, because you will lose. And as I said before, you will be the lucky one, and you want to be that person. You want to be somewhat lucky that you were, sleepless nights, doing your research, buying as low as you possibly can, trying to save some money elsewhere to invest, right? You want to be that person. So let's talk about Bitcoin first and foremost, right? So we're just going to look at the obvious here in terms of how long these actually do last. Now, I do have it on the total market cap, which I will go on to TradingView in a second. But you can see the previous high here. We all know what happened in that previous cycle. We obviously grounded down. But there was periods of times where it was literally months where Bitcoin did nothing. We're getting to Q4 now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the external world of the traditional markets, certainly energy prices and all kinds of stuff like that. But this was an element where things were slow and horrible, really. Why? People left. People left. The tradable volume kind of dried up a little bit as well. The investment wasn't there. The hype wasn't there. And this is where the money's made. This is where the money was made, essentially, when you look at that side of the game. Now, if you are accumulating, it's an interesting point, because when you're at that point, when it was at, say, 3K back in those days, it felt weird. It felt very, very weird considering it was 20K. You often thought as well, will it go back up? I had confidence that it will go back up over time, but not as quickly as it did. And in my opinion, I think it did shoot back up to $69,000 incredibly fast in terms of time frame, in terms of going from 2019 to 2021 and the speed that it did it. That's impressive. That is really, really good. When you look at the altcoins, it's even more impressive, right? So let's look at Ethereum. Look at that. Look at how that was trading at such a low range for such a long period of time. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen again. We do have an Ethereum merge coming up. You can see that on the screen. However, that being said, how much Ethereum do you want to get? If you have got maybe 12 months, 18 months where you can dollar cost average a little bit in at these lows, if we do go lower, it's going to be interesting. We could be ranging here from $1,500 to $1,000 for the next 6 to 12 months, potentially, right? What are you going to do? You're going to just sit on your hands, or are you just going to buy at all those lows? Well, nothing wrong with buying. You've got to be patient, though. This is the game. You've got to be patient. Now, even though I do say I think Ethereum could go much lower than $1,000, it will depend on the circumstance. If I've got money to afford to put into the market, I will also buy as low as I can. Remember, we were nearly at $5,000 at the all-time high. You're still getting fair value for Ethereum, right? You've got to think of that bigger picture. But as I said before, this is where people think you get lucky because you've found something that has gone up in value. Money makes money, and obviously risk reward is hugely important. I wouldn't worry too much about the other assets. Look at the top assets first, get some profit, and then more importantly, look at opportunities elsewhere. Cardano, another great example. Did all right in the first bull market. It died for a long time. It went all the way down to like 2 cents. This was trading between 8 and 2 cents for a very, very long time. They're massive numbers ranging, but you got to remember the percentage levels are still the same. Even though the price feels low, looks low compared to where it was and where it is now, the price ranges that you can get on these accumulation phases can be pretty good. You can still buy low and still sell much higher if you so wish to, if you want to accumulate. Buy low, sell high, buy back low if you so wish to, right? It's all about risk management. But look at that. How long was it in that range for? A long time. Last one, XRP. Another one. Ballooned. popped off, but it stayed around these levels for months. One of the most stable coins I've ever seen. Obviously it went up, didn't go up massively, but you get the picture. You could have still made a 10x pretty easily, in all fairness. But let's look at the date times and stuff like that. Now it's important to note that this is the total market cap, not the greatest of metrics in the world, but this is just looking at 2018. There was a period of 95 days where this was stuck in a range and it didn't really move much. There was another one right at the bottom here, 125 days. In total, between this and this big drop into that level and then obviously a grind back up again, it was 225 days. That's nearly, give or take, around 8-9 months. That is a long time to sit on your hands. That is a long time to slowly put capital in the market through consistency, having a rhythm, even if it is $100 per month, every month for the rest of your life, right? You're going to make some money somewhere. You're going to buy some lows, take profit at some point, obviously. Just don't be doing it when the market is high. There's no point. You might as well stop, chill out. When it goes to a certain threshold, when certain things have changed, just chill out. Maybe save that money, or maybe look at doing the opposite and start taking money out so you can dollar cost average back in when it's low again, but in a more aggressive fashion, right? So let's keep it simple. Looking at the BTC market and the total market cap overall right now, that's what's happened. You all know I've done videos on these levels. These are the levels I will be more happy to buy than I would be back here. I could still buy right now. I'm still in the market. It doesn't really bother me. But I'm not looking to randomly just plonk money into a random shitcoin in the hope it's going to go up. Previous cycle, learned my lesson on that one. I'm a bit more careful, right? So if we do go down to 600 billion overall total market cap, I'll be like, yeah, I can put quite a bit of money into the market and buy some lows and just sit. Even if it goes even lower, I'll just do the exact same. I will continuously do it. I do it at set levels. Some people do it on set months, set weeks, whatever. It's just, it depends on your game, really. However, I just want to make the warning call that for you guys, for anyone who's new around here, looking at the past is a great gauge. If we are going to be here for a year and it is boring, don't quit. The idea is to buy low, sell high, and keep doing it. Be consistent, right? The people that quit will come back when the market is high and they will lose. You will probably win or have a much better chance of winning when that phase happens again. The markets will go up eventually. We've got to look, we are in a bear market. I'm not saying that every coin's going to go back up, because obviously that's not going to happen. But if you're picking the solid ones and they are down 80%, remember, going back up in value is much different if you bought that bottom versus what you do buying the top. I'm not saying if you stick to your top order, you're going to make money, because there's a chance you might not. But if you put money back in at that bottom, you bring your dollar cost average down, that's a big factor. When we look at the fact of the dollar, for example, this is incredibly strong. That could remain strong. When we look at the likes of the NASDAQ overall, slow downtrend, looking to go into some new potential lows. We're not out the woods yet. But does that mean we're going to make money eventually? Well, opportunities there, isn't it? Be positive. Opportunities are always at the lows, not the highs. Taking profits for the highs. Money should already be made. Anyways, if you enjoy, leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you again very, very soon.